You know what? Let me speak and then you can interrupt. Frustrates this court. It's one way, it's one thing when you're charged with a theft.
Of repaying the victim, and the case is going to be dismissed after payment of all restitution. So we're just asking the court to reset while she's working on things.
When is that going to happen? It's already been 2 years
They have,
since it was.
yeah, the problem with this is U-Haul, and they've actually entered into a settlement agreement with her on a civil basis. If the boy is aware of it, he's agreed to let them continue to do that rather than pay the restitution through the DA's office, because they file these things and then they still try to collect it through their collection agents.
I've got an
They've
email confirming how much is
Yeah.
the
So
settlement amount.
they're saying they're accepting it over 9 payments, 9 monthly payments.
Over 270 days.
Yeah, that's 9 months.
Yeah.
So that's the payment schedule that they've agreed on.
Judge, I'll talk to him. What we'll do is if they've got a civil worked out and there's payment plan worked out and they've signed everything, we may just get rid of it anyway, let them just deal with it civilly. But
Okay,
I hate letting her just be able to just walk away from the civil agreement. That's something.
well, also we're talking about dollar for dollar without an interest. These people have been without.
Yeah, and this is a reduced amount. I think this is saving her.
It was September 29th of 23.
Yeah.
So it's been, you know what? Let me speak and then you can interrupt. That's what frustrates this court. It's one way, it's one thing when you're charged with a theft and you pay it back over years, but when you pay it dollar for dollar, those people have lost the use of that money for years. Really, the right thing should be, you ought to be charged in interest, whatever the interest rate is at the time, added to the dollar for dollar. Because if you steal, let's say $10,000 from somebody and pay it over time, dollar for dollar, let's say over 2 or 3 years, they've lost 2 or 3 years use of that money and they're out. They still, if you paid them all back, the $10,000, they're out the use and interest that money would have served them. So just paying them back a little at a time over years, the flat amount that was misused or taken doesn't pay back the victim properly. They lost value of that money. And that's why when you go borrow money from a bank, you have to have interest. You have to pay interest. You may borrow 10,000, but it's going to cost you 10,000 plus the interest because the bank is losing that value and that worth. And that would apply not only to a bank, to anybody who loses money and then gets reimbursement. There ought to be interest charged, whatever the appropriate rate is at the time. But that's why this court has always been anxious when people pay it back. When you pay it back over years, dollar for dollar, they still lost money. And that's your fault.
Yes, sir.
Then how do you just apologizing to them? They want money back, but they just get dollar for dollar. That's why it's important that it gets paid back as soon as possible because they're going to lose something. They're going to be a victim and they don't get repaid 100% of the loss of the use of the money. So when is this going to be completed?
They gave me 3 months to do it. I was gonna try and have it done in the next month. Maybe for income tax time, I don't know. But the thing is, they have me for theft of the vehicle. They said that I stole the whole U. And at the beginning, we said that I didn't steal the whole U. So after I pay it off, is that still gonna show up as a felony?
No, ma'am, the case is going to be dismissed. The criminal case will be dismissed once you pay all the restitution.
Okay,
Yes.
so if I bring the settlement and pay them all before my court date.
Yeah. When it's done, all things being done
Dismissed.
properly as agreed, then they submit me a motion to dismiss the case and then it's dismissed. And that's why you can see it's a win for you, even though, these people were out the money. But I am always concerned about the victims being paid back. And when you have to pay over years and it's just dollar for dollar, they're still out the use of that money for the period of time. They didn't get interest on it, and they're out. That's why
Yeah.
it's important that people pay the money back as soon as possible. Okay,
It's not for us, it's for them. That's what we do with it if we got it.
so when's the next event? What do we want to set for a review? I mean, if she pays it back, if she pays it back, she doesn't need to come up here. I can dismiss the case. The quicker, the better for everybody.
Review it in about 60 or
But I'm
90
gonna
days.
review
Make sure
it.
she's got time to do it.
60 to 90 days.
6 weeks to review it. Let's see where we are.
All right.
Get it reset.
Process of hiring HA co-attorney to handle both of those matters and asking for
I'm pretty sure
we said on that.
we're going to move forward one way or the other. We're going to move forward. You can get whoever you need. When shall we be ready? I want a motion, begin the hearing. This was filed on August. We're moving fast.
Your Honor, we'll need to check on the case out of Jasper County.
Okay.
It has not been filed yet. They're still waiting on the
It doesn't matter.
analysis there. It's going to take a while.
It doesn't have to be filed,
No, but they're waiting on drug analysis. They can't prove the drug until the analysis is done.
It's at the labs. We don't know the status of it other than the lab has it. But we haven't gotten the lab results yet on that.
Well, why does the allegation say she committed an offense if we don't know if she did or not? I mean, somebody signed something.
As soon as an arrest is made.
I know that, I know, but if you're not sure, it's one thing about it. I mean, if we're all held up because we don't know if it's a drug or not, how can you, in good faith, allege a crime?
I 100% agree with you,
All
but
right.
that's always been the policy of the state.
When is this gonna be known for sure?
Don't
I know,
know.
I'm asking.
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I can check on it. Yes.
Because I want to move this when motions, there's no reason for motions to languish. We're going to work late if we have to, but we're going to move motions and they're not going to languish after we're ready to move. And this, and
Sorry.
okay, I'm looking at the administrative hearing and it doesn't even identify a drug. So the random urine screen was administered and was negative for illegal. She was advised any more violence. That was October 11th. That must be. We're talking about July 17th, 25. There's July 18th. Rated the offensive possession.
Yeah.
Then on inactive. It was arrested for new felony office. Yes. But that's odd. Generally, they identify a drug. There's some test that it would at least get summed up, but it's an unknown thing. That's odd.
Right here,
We
the
will try
energy
and
in
look
the
into seeing
courtroom
on the status of
shifts.
those lab
You
results.
can feel
Your
the
Honor.
tension rise.
I wanna
Every
reset
word
it
suddenly
for
starts to
6.
matter. The judge is watching closely. The attorneys are choosing every sentence carefully, and the defendant knows one wrong move could change everything. Moments like this decide the direction of a case, and sometimes even a life. If you were watching this live, what would you think is about to happen next? Like and subscribe for more courtroom moments.
He's blending in. He's blending in with the scenery. Is he here around?
He's here live and in color. It's live. That's just our first.
Hey, it's going on 1 year as an indictment. I mean, where's he been? What took so long?
I think I got the case in October when they assigned me to it.
Yeah, this isn't good though. He's got all those priors, huh? So, is this a habitual felon on 13A? Looks like, I'm afraid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the state jail felony in 139 is going to be punished as though it were second degree. Is that right? What's that? You got sequential. You got 4 sequential priors. So this is serious. What do we do?
I think what's going to give me some time. They got to convert the files so I can print them on the discovery portal. I think the DA's office is going to convert them for me. But this is my first appearance with him. I know the case is a year old. Like I said, I didn't get this until I believe October.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. This is 6th resetting already. This is a 6th resetting already. Langston. I didn't matter. I mean, he can change lawyers every time, and then that would be his excuse. I got a new lawyer.
No, I think it's a technical issue.
We need to. Technical issue is just he's changing lawyers, but the court's going to move forward. I mean, you don't have at least a year rule. There isn't anything. It's moving forward, and you want to keep changing lawyers. That's okay, but you're going to work on my speed, not on yours. We're not going to do that on yours. Mr. Pollard, I went 4. He's got 4 weeks.
That's what I
4. We'll just do what? You know what? 5 weeks. 5 weeks for a decision. What direction we're going to head in?
No, that's no problem.
Then it will go that direction. Okay.
No problem.
And of course, we try it. It'll be, I guess, the unlawful possession of the firearm case. That's the one that's looking at life in prison. You're looking at a minimum of 25 years, minimum of 25 years to life in prison on that one. And then the other cases, no less than 2, no more than 20 years confinement in prison on that. It's all because of prior convictions, which is what is the factor in the penalization is circumstances of the crime and criminal history. Your criminal history is terrible. That's why it's always my advice to you is don't commit any more crimes. I should have given you that advice before you. This is so thick.
Well, we've been dealing with it for a while. This is the case that has the sex offender registration determination that is part of a civil case in Austin right now.
What do we do today?
There's not much we can do until that determination.
What do you want to do today?
I'd like to ask for 6 more weeks and we'll look him on those.
What's the forecast on it?
Judge, there's a new district court judge in that court, unfortunately. So
Travis?
in Travis County, yes, Judge. Any of the statute requires us to litigate this issue in Travis County.
Glad you're here in Jefferson,
Yeah, Jefferson.
where we have some control.
So Hey, on the good side, Judge, this is the only one of these that you have, so.
What, tell me a little, just in a sentence or two, what's the deal on this as far as what are the options that can be headed toward?
The court could say, the district court over there in Travis County could say that he's not required to register as a sex offender because the statute under which he was convicted in Arkansas when he was 18 years old is not equivalent to the statute in Texas.
We don't accept.
In other words, he was convicted of a misdemeanor in Arkansas when he was 18 or 19. And what the DPS did was they are treating that like it's in second degree indecency with the child. And the two things are not the same thing. At least that's our argument. The district court may disagree with me about that, but the elements are different. The offense is different. The level is different.
Is the requirement that it be a felony or be defined as a sex offense?
Judge, the answer to the question is there is no requirement that it be a felony, but there are no felonies under or misdemeanors under Chapter 62. So do with that information what you want. But the real answer is, Judge, the offense for which
there a related crime?
I would say
Under
no.
the elements?
I would say no, because, and I'll tell you why. Because the offense for which he was accused was having consensual sex with someone within 3 years of his age, when she was 17 and he was 19 or 18 or whatever it was. And the gist of it is that in Arkansas was a misdemeanor sex offense, but in Texas that wouldn't be an offense here.
Well, we'd have a defense.
But if it meets all of the elements, it'd always be a summary judgment defense. I mean, it would not be an offense, but certainly not what he was convicted of in Arkansas as a misdemeanor, certainly not the equivalent of indecency with a child or sexual assault of a child in Texas. It's just the elements are not the same. And what DPS has to do these charts for each state and say these crimes in this state equal these crimes in Texas. And our argument is when they did that chart, they did this one wrong as it relates to that offense in Arkansas. And then for whatever it's worth, to make things even more complicated, the legislature about 2 years after his conviction in Arkansas completely changed their whole penal code. And so now it's totally different, and that rule doesn't even exist anymore. That is not even a crime in Arkansas anymore, what he was convicted of.
Okay.
So
what do we want to reset?
I mean,
And just like that, the atmosphere changes again. A tiny reaction, a slight shift in tone, or a sudden pause. That's all it takes to reveal what someone is truly feeling in court. These small details often matter more than the biggest statements. This moment is building into something important, and the judge knows it too. What do you think this shift means for the outcome of the case? Don't forget to like and subscribe.